Hi, everybody. This is Tracy Malone from NarcissistAbuseSupport.com. I am an international coach and I help people with all things narcissistic. I am also an author of a book on divorcing your narcissist called Divorcing Your Narcissist. You Can't Make This Shit Up. And you know, if you're divorcing them, you can't. Today, I have a very special guest. She's a fellow divorce coach, and her name is Denise Kavalaskis. And we've been friends for a while now. And I think you're going to really enjoy this video. We're going to talk about how to win at divorce and with a narcissist and what people really need to know to find that right place in fight or flight. Do I argue about this? Does it matter? What do I need to do? So let's go meet Denise because you're going to find this to be really very helpful. And I'll see you on the other side. Hi, Denise. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you.
Thanks, Tracy. I'm so excited to be with you and talk again about this infamous topic.
Yeah. Divorcing a narcissist, like what do we do? I
Yeah.
mean, so many people are doing it and it's epic of crazy, right? I mean, there's no question that the tactics that people see and witness and live are off the chart and most people think they're crazy for even mentioning them. So, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about how do we win at divorce with a narcissist. So, where do you want to
Yeah.
start?
Ooh. Let's start with hiring the lawyer,
Okay.
hiring the divorce attorney, because I see a lot. I'm in a lot of groups here locally in North Carolina, and I see a lot of, I'm sure you see it too, a lot of people, women asking for the shark attorney, the bulldog attorney, like those phrases, the expert, da da da, and and all of they get all these recommendations, and here I am popping in there with a different perspective and a different way of divorcing a narcissist. I'm like, hey, and I try to shine the light on that it's a good strategy to have legal strategy, know your rights and all of that. However, your emotions are actually the most important thing for you to get a hold of before you even hire the attorney.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that, Tracy, is because I've had so many women from all over the world. I know you have this too, right? And they tell you these nightmare divorce stories. And exactly. And what's the common theme between all of these nightmare stories? It's that they went to hire the attorney first from that energy of desperation, still being abused, scared of the threat, scared I'm going to lose the money, I'm going to lose the kids, I'm going to lose XYZ. And from that energy, they choose an attorney, and it just turns into a nightmare, dragged out divorce.
And I know you as I have seen people with 6 attorneys, 8 attorneys, over and over, another deposit, another, oh, we'll catch up with that. Thank you for that 10,000. We'll catch up. And then we'll hit you with another one next week because we just read all the stuff you gave us and there's your retainer. So there's a huge financial cost
Right.
switching. But as you said, I have a part in my book on how to look for and pick attorneys. And I call it the shark, the barracuda, and the turtle, right? You don't want the, oh, it's a fine, you don't want someone that's ignorant about this kind of abuse.
Right.
You also do not want that shark because the shark will fight battles that you don't need to fight just because they can
Yep.
and because they feel like they have an unlimited purse. And people with $800 lawyer hourly fees are going to be blindsided by the cost and the quickness at the deposit just dissolving away. I know that
Yeah.
my lawyer fought battles that in hindsight now, why did we fight that battle? We had 7 trials. Why? And we didn't have kids. The house was sold. This should not have been. But the shark
No.
finds the conflict and they stoke it. And so people have to understand the danger in that kind of mentality. While it looks good on
Yeah.
paper and they might have a fancy business picture sitting there on their website, they tend to have more problems and they don't get the job done the way someone more in the barracuda shark, when they know it, you start know when to fight and then know when to pull back and go, let's watch them have fun with that stupid thing. Then we'll take
Yeah.
actions instead of, we'll answer, we'll answer, we'll waste money, right?
Yeah. Reacting versus responding is basically what you just said, right? Exactly. Yeah.
And again, if we're already in that hypervigilant state of
Mhm.
trauma, you want someone that's going to bring the temperature down, not throw another log on the fire.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
All
And
right.
it's a common thing that I see, and it's like there's like an epidemic of it. It's
Mhm.
yeah, and it's just it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see women just fall. I call it fall for the trap, right? They just fall for the trap and they do what society, basically what society has trained us to do, right? You've decided to get a divorce. You have the courage to do this. Go get the best attorney out there. Go get the most expensive, go get the this, that,
Mhm.
and that's going to solve the problems. And nowadays it's not a divorce attorney you need, it's a divorce team you need.
You totally do, right?
Yeah.
And if we look at how someone can choose a better lawyer, what advice do you have? I mean, because they're just going in there going, oh, my neighbor told me to call this guy. I don't know if he's a shark. How did someone know?
I always say, first your nervous system needs to be in a calm state. Have your nervous system calm so that you can think clearly and make decisions off of clarity versus, like you were explaining before, reaction, and just like, and the trauma and all of that of like, okay, we've all been there, done that, right? We've made purchases, whether it was this, we're talking about this or something else, from emotions. We're like, yes, gotta have it. And then we get it, and then we're like, why did I spend this much? What a waste. So that's the first thing that I always tell people is to have your nervous system calm so that you can think clearly and make decisions off of the clarity of where you're going versus um, having the nervous system under the threats of taking this away or taking that away, or your life is going to totally change, it's going to be worse now, and all of that. So trauma response, you don't want to choose an attorney from the energy of a trauma response. You want to choose an attorney in that calm nervous system so that you can think clearly and make clear decisions for your future, which involves your money and your kids and
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah. And for me, I find a lot of my clients struggle with communication expectations that they never really asked the lawyer about. So
Mhm.
many people will send their lawyer an email, or yeah, usually it's an email, and then they don't hear back ever. Not
Mhm.
from a paralegal, not from anyone. So I think asking those kind of questions is, what can I expect? And because if you're thinking they'll answer you or that they read it, then you're going to be very disappointed when you found out, oh, it wasn't your turn for them to read your stuff. They'll pull it up later. But people want an answer. So if you're that kind of person that needs someone that is nurturing and responsible about answering, find out. Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
ask more questions about how the process works, how you're billed, how you're this, because if you don't, again, doesn't matter how shiny their picture is on their website. It matters that I really thought I'd get a response and they never respond, and I have to get a new lawyer. Find that out before you make that emotional decision, because it has a cost to it. And if
Yeah.
the kind of person you are and you need that, I need to know they got it, I need an answer, then find one that says they can do that. Right? That's the
Yeah. 100%.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I say, you're hiring this attorney just like our clients hire us. So
Mhm.
you have every right to ask those types of questions and to say, also, I tell my clients, like, look, I had one client, I think she was in Wisconsin, and she told the attorney, we are not playing in these games. We are not doing this. We are not doing that. We are going to do this, and we're going to wrap this up. And so it's okay. You're hiring this person for you to say, hey, this is the expectation that I have for this process to go.
Mhm.
I'm not willing to do past a year. I'm not willing to do, whatever amount of money. I'm not going to play these games. I'm not going to bow down to whoever the partner hires and their shenanigans, because that's what it is. This is the outline of what I expect.
Absolutely. And that's what people don't realize. They have the right to speak up, to ask these questions. So definitely get your questions
Yeah.
together. Talk to Denise or I or somebody that can say, this is the most important thing to you. This is how you ask them. And you're looking for this as an answer, right? So that you are making that right decision.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about all this chaos and crazy that happens. So how does someone stop the crazy? I mean, we were talking from the lawyer's perspective, but can someone stop the crazy?
Yeah. I've helped so many women and men stop crazy. And whether they came to me before they hired the attorney or it's already like in the midst of things, to stop the crazy and actually experience a peaceful divorce, even though they're divorcing a narcissist. Because what I tell my clients is everything begins and ends with you. It's your energy, it's how you're feeling, it's how you're thinking, it's how you're responding now versus the way you used to react. It's all of those things that you're doing now that has created the peace in this divorce process versus what you had before, which was, a nightmare and all the chaos and all of that. Because that's what the narcissist wants, that's what they're going to cling to, that's what they're going to do from A to Z. So it always for me comes back to, what energy are you coming from? Are you coming from a trauma response, or are you coming from, I really want my future to look like this, and this piece, this divorce is the catalyst. It's the hump that I need to get over to get to the other side, and I'm so excited to get to the other side. So yeah, anybody can have a peaceful divorce, stop the chaos.
And it also ties back into the lawyer, because if you've got a lawyer that wants to drum up chaos, you'll be in it. You'll be playing in that sandbox. If you
Right.
know that you have rights to say no, I don't want to play that game, or find where your boundaries are. But that's where having a divorce coach really does come in handy, because
Absolutely.
not getting a call back from your $700 an hour lawyer to ask somebody to go, should I be worried about this? Why are they doing this? Oh, that's why. Okay, then I understand it, versus the, flash of and confusion and chaos that we're talking about, where you feel like you have no power because you're not getting answers
Right.
from the lawyer, and it seems like the train is driving without you. So
Mm-hmm.
someone to bounce these things off of, that will tell you, okay, we have to answer that. And that's just a threat. It has nothing and it has no bearing. And the law will take
Yes.
care of that. That saves you the chaos. Because if you are in a place where you are feeding logs into that fire, we're going to have a bonfire.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Out of control,
Mhm.
can't stop type of fire that firemen and trucks and sirens and all kinds of things need to come in and take over to calm it down. Yeah. Great analogy.
I have a dear friend that was in my original support group, I'd say 8 to 9 years ago. And I saw her on Saturday night, and she's still in her 8-year divorce.
Oh my
And we're talking multiple, multiple, multiple millions. 8 years later, battle after battle, same lawyer, but this is what happens if you don't decide which battles you're fighting. Now, hers is a completely different thing, not the normal divorce. I don't want anyone to think yours is going to be an 8-year divorce. It's a high level, and lots of things to split up, sort of a war, right? But when it
Right.
gets to the normal person, easily, you know 10 times more than you expected to pay. I was
Yeah.
over $25,000 in my divorce, and it cost me $100,000 to divorce. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't want you in that battle. We don't want you with that lawyer that's gonna throw the yellow log on. Sure, let's go after this now.
Mm-hmm.
Know which battles to fight is going to end the chaos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
100%.
I also wanted to ask you, people are feeling out of control. when they're going through this, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
how do they find that inner peace? How do they feel like, okay, I am actually driving the car versus being a passenger?
Yeah. So it really boils down to a belief. So yeah, when you go into these high conflict divorces, there's so much chaos around us. There's so much to do and there's so much to think about and there's so much to, I got to do this and I'm trying to think of the word, get through whatever, paperwork, whatever. Finances, they're asking for this paperwork, asking for that paperwork. And then that's on top of life stuff, regular life stuff, picking up the kids, making dinner, all of those things. And so I tell my clients, like, especially first thing in the morning to start your day, just take, even if it's 5 minutes, just to pull your energy back and just to start your day in some peace and calm, whatever that is. Like me, I love listening to the birds outside sing. We live in the country, and I love that. To me, waking up to that is just like heaven, or the ocean sounds. Have something near you, phone or whatever, that instantly brings you to peace when you start your morning off, because that's going to set the tone for the day. And then I'm a big believer in baby steps. And I'm a big believer with, when there's just this cluster over here of stuff that needs to get done, I just pull the one thing that needs to get done now
Mhm.
and take care of that and leave the rest there. Let that all simmer in its chaotic, whatever energy. And then once I have that done, and it takes a lot of effort and strength to like just, and pull that one. But if you start your day off with that soothing sound and that energy, even if it's 5 minutes, that will set the tone for the day. So that's part of what I teach my clients of. And to answer your question, to do is immediately in the morning when you wake up, because what do we mostly do when we wake up in the morning? What do I got to do? I got to get, and we just start on go, green, full blast. And then by noon, you're burnt from all the things of really the thoughts in your head that are just driving you nuts.
Exactly. And I think I feel that the things in our head, the thoughts get amplified with the fear. So to me,
Totally.
that grounding that you're talking about, that taking time, that knowing what grounds you, what makes that peace, the birds, the this, the that, maybe it's a hot bath, maybe it's whatever it is that takes you into that calmer place, does have a
Mm-hmm.
huge effect. But I also think that they have to realize too that while it's important to listen to my videos and my podcast and learn, I don't know that you need to wake up, roll over, and find out what the newest video is of anyone every single day. I think it's
Right.
overload and it adds and amplifies that fear. Oh, someone had an 8-year divorce. I just heard that on Tracy's video. Oh no, that could be me. And then, it amplifies and it adds fear to your day. So
Yeah.
knowing what is the right amount and what is too much. People
Mm-hmm.
in divorce for 8 years and are still watching a narcissist video every day, it should be healing.
Right.
You don't need to
Right.
be putting that in because it's keeping you stuck. And so there's
Yes.
a time for it. And I'm not saying don't watch the videos because you're in the middle of a divorce. You need them. Just mediation and regulation of how much you're digesting. I watched
Absolutely.
videos for 14 hours. I watched every one of your videos this weekend, Tracy. You're probably left in trauma. It's not
Right.
I'm sorry, it wasn't what I wanted, but it wasn't supposed to be. It's like taking, aspirin to work, but the whole bottle would make you sick.
Right. Right. Such a great analogy. Yes, absolutely. Doses. That's why I'm such a huge, one of the reasons why I'm such a huge believer in baby steps.
Mhm.
Society has trained and ingrained us to like rush, rush, go, go, get. And just like what you're talking about, watching all of your videos, like consume, 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 educate, and all of that. And while yes, but also in like micro doses, like you said, baby steps, because I know for me, I can easily get overwhelmed, and that would totally overwhelm me and spiral me. And I know myself well enough now, but the old me wouldn't have done this, is to take it in little bits and pieces. And when I get the notion or the hit of like, that's enough, take a break, I stop, and that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because we're on the other side. We're just telling people
Right.
like, this is what you've got to do. And it becomes overwhelming. The whole entire divorce process becomes a fearful thing. The threats,
Yeah.
the what ifs, all of the fear that just drives every single moment. And when, like you said in the beginning, if we're making those decisions out of fear in that moment, it might not be
Yeah.
the right one. So you have something called be the CEO of your divorce. Tell me what that means.
Take charge.
Mhm.
Take charge of your divorce, you know? Women like you and me, or men who are in these types of relationships, these marriages, and then we go to divorce, we're coming out of a trauma, of abusive situation, and we're going into unconsciously not knowing that the next step is going to be even more abusive. And that actually there's a choice in that moment when you decide that you're going to take this step in divorce, that you can run the divorce the way you want it, have everything go the way you want it. It's a matter of choosing, like we were talking about, from the minute you wake up in the morning to the when you close your eyes at night, to choose that I am running this. I am the CEO because it's me, it's my life. And so I'm going to move forward as the CEO in charge of my life so that I can, like I was saying before, create an amazing future after I get over go through this, take care of this. So yeah, take charge of your life, take charge of your divorce, take charge of it all.
And believe in the future, right? That fear is going to
Yeah.
block you from imagining it because all the fear is sticking to you. Oh, you'll never get the children. I'll make this. Oh, they'll never go away. And you're sitting there sinking slowly, but it's that light that you were talking about, the birds chirping.
Yeah.
It the remember and believe on the other side of this. Might not know what it's going to look like, but it won't be this ugly. It'll be better.
Yeah.
No matter what
Yeah.
it is better. And you
Yeah.
don't have to become a divorce coach to make your life better after this stuff, but you just
Right.
have to have a vision that says, even if I don't know what it looks like, I know I'll be happy. And that is
Yeah.
a gift that takes away a lot of the fear when people are going through it.
Yeah, that's actually, Tracy, one of the quotes that I said when because my story is I left South Florida, moved here to North Carolina with nothing but a futon couch and an air mattress. And I remember crossing over the state line to North Carolina and thinking to myself, I don't know what the future holds, but I know this, it's better than the past. Because I was going to take charge of my life from here on, from that moment on, to create the life that I wanted to live, and no more being under somebody's control and walking on eggshells and people pleasing and all that BS. I was like, no, I don't know what's ahead, but I know it ain't that.
Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
better by itself. We don't even have to go, oh, what if? It's the what ifs that get us all screwed up. So
Yeah.
balancing yourself without those fearful, but what if this happens? And what if I can't find a job? And what if? Just believe that you can and start
Yeah.
that process, and that will bring the right energy as you were talking. I love talking about energy.
Yes.
It is such an important part, and I wish I had known that when I was going through my divorce, because I was like
Yeah.
a chicken with her head cut off, just reacting and not ever saying, why are we chasing that? I don't know why we're doing that. I
Yeah.
just went along with the lawyer and it cost me $100,000. It's a stupid thing to do. I would never do it again. So,
Yeah.
how do people reach out and find you and learn more about you?
So my website is yourdivorcedoula.co, and that's where they can book a call with me or see what resources that I have or whatever. That's the main site, is yourdivorcedoula.co.
Nice. I love that. Yay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Denise, for being here. I know this information is going to help a lot of people, and you are an expert, and I am so honored that you came.
Thank you. I love collaborating with you too, Tracy, and we'll do it again, hopefully. Thanks.
I hope you guys found that helpful. Denise is a chock full of nuts and beautiful ideas, and I just love talking about that energy stuff. To me, I don't know how I would survive without my energy healer, to be honest with you. But when you're going through a divorce, you need help. You need help. You need a coach. You need to look and feel and understand how your body feels in all of this. So I want to remind you, if you are going through a divorce, I have a book called Divorcing Your Narcissist. You can't make this shit up, and you know you can't. So I hope that you'll go get that book. It will help you, give you information, and there's 26 experts who have given their top tips on divorcing a narcissist, whether it's a financial planner or a divorce professional, a mediator, a lawyer. We've got them all in there, and it'll help you. So if you are looking for help in this arena, you can reach out to me on my site, narcissistabusesupport.com, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.